welcome to my channel. If you're new here, which you probably are because I only have 4 subscribers and one of those are my hubby. I am going to be covering true crimes, conspiracies, urban legends, just all of the things that I find interesting, and maybe you will too. And I am also going to be doing my makeup at the same time. Yes, like Bailey. So, today I wanted to talk about Brandon Swanson, the 19-year-old boy that went missing and seemingly disappeared out of thin air. So let's get into the case. All right, so Brandon was 19 years old, like I said. He had brown hair, blue eyes. He weighed 125 pounds and he stood at 5'5". On May 14th of 2008, he vanished. So after graduating from high school at Marshall High in 2007, he went to a party, but it was more like a get-together because there was apparently only about 7 or 8 people that were there. So it was more like a little get-together. There he consumed 1, maybe 2 beers. From what I have read, I think it was most likely 1 beer. So classes ended May 13th, and that's when he went to celebrate with those 8 people to finish off the semester. It was only about 7 miles from his house, and like I said, only 1 or 2 drinks were consumed there. Then he remembered that he had a friend that was moving from there. He was just moving, and he wanted to go say goodbye to him. So that drive was about 35 miles from where he was at. But he was familiar with the drive. So he takes the drive so he can say goodbye to his friend. And he had about 1 or 2 more drinks while he was there. Hanging out a little bit, Brandon decided that he was going to leave. And this was about midnight. So he gets in his car for about a 30-mile drive that he was very familiar with. He took it all the time. He knew exactly where he was going. So, and this was connected by Highway 68. Even being super familiar with it, unfortunately, he caught a couple rocks or something happened and he ended up in a ditch on the side of the road. So at first he calls his friends with unfortunately no answer. And then he decides, okay, it's time to call my parents. So he calls his parents and he tells his dad answers, and he tells his dad, listen, the car's fine, I'm fine, I just need some help getting back on the road, getting back out so I can get home. So Brandon said that he was near Lynna in Marshall. I think I said Lynna, right? Lynna in Marshall, and his dad knew exactly where that was. And his parents weren't worried at all. They knew exactly where he was, like I said, so they just figured that they were going to go and help their son get out of this ditch. Parents get there, and there's no sign of him or the car, and they say, hey, we're flashing our lights. We are honking our horn. Do you see us? Do you hear us? And Brandon says, no, I don't hear you guys. I don't see the lights. And his parents say, okay, flash your lights, honk your horn. And over the phone, they did hear the clicking sound of the lights flashing, but they didn't see anything, and they did not hear any horn honking. So Brandon gets irritated. They both get irritated, and Brandon is thinking they're probably just in the wrong spot. So he gets irritated, he hangs up on her, and then the mom calls back and says, okay, just calm down. I know we both got irritated. Let's figure out where you are. Tell me what you see when you look around. And Brandon says what he sees, and his parents are like, that's what I'm seeing. So Brandon gets irritated again, and he's like, obviously they're in the wrong spot. They're not where I am if they can't see or hear my horn or lights or anything. So he tells his parents, dude, listen, I see, he didn't say dude, sorry. He says, listen, I see lights in the distance. I'm just gonna walk towards the lights. And his dad said, okay, I'm going to take your mother home and I will be back. I'll meet you. It was a little bar, a tavern that he thought he saw in the distance. So Brandon's dad, he stays on the phone with him the entire time. And Brandon said that I hear running water and I see a fence. I'm gonna take this shortcut. So the next thing that happens while his dad is on the phone with him, all of a sudden Brandon says, oh shit, and the phone disconnects and the dad tries calling him back 6 times with the phone just going directly to voicemail. So Brandon's dad drives up and down the road, the dirt road, and he's looking, calling, screaming out and trying to locate his son with, unfortunately, no response. Calls his wife, and the wife calls, actually I'm not sure if it was the wife that called or if it was the dad that called, but either way, their friends were called, and Brandon's friends were called, and they went to search this area at nighttime to try to locate Brandon. And unfortunately, they did not find anything. So the next morning, they went down to the police department and they filed a missing persons report. And the police did not take them seriously, saying things like a 19-year-old, while they go missing all the time, and if he doesn't want to be found, then he doesn't need to be found, which finally the police did decide to do their job. And when the police looked at all of his cell phone records, it showed that his cell phone pinged was at a cell phone tower 25 miles away from what he had told his parents. So with that information, they started searching in this location, and they ended up finding his car stuck in a ditch, like Brandon had said. So they searched the car. There was no footprints that were anywhere near the car, or leading away from the car rather. But they did conduct a massive search, which included of aerial searches. There was bloodhounds, search dogs that were searching within a 25-mile radius. And the dogs did end up picking up a scent that lasted about 3 miles. And initially, it led to the Yellow Medic River. I think I said that right. It might be the Medice River. I'm not sure how I pronounce that. Sorry. So, which that would all tie into what Brandon had said originally, that he heard running water and he saw the fence. So the months went on and by, and there was never anything that was found. There was volunteers, emergency personnel searching on foot, on boats, on any way that they could, and there was never anything that could help them find where Brandon had went. So it was 39 degrees out, and if Brandon did fall into the river, he could have very easily gotten hypothermia. But there was no remains. There was no body that was ever found. Up and down, like I said, they searched all up and down that entire area. And the bloodhounds, they did pick up a couple scents here and there, but they never lasted more than a couple miles at a time. And then it seemingly would lead to nothing and nowhere. So if there's a couple, I'll go into like a couple like theories, I guess. Some people say, oh, maybe he just wanted to disappear. Maybe he wanted to fake his own disappearance and start a new life. But I mean, anybody that knew him said that that wasn't something that he would do. I mean, he was thriving in school. It just didn't sound like him. And honestly, with the research that I did not think so either. So, and then there was another one saying that maybe it was a hit and run, and the person that hit him, maybe they got scared and panicked and then decided to take him and bury him or do whatever somewhere else away from the area. But then that wouldn't make any sense, because if he was on the phone with his dad saying that he heard water, there would be no cars right there. So that didn't make any sense. But I mean, of course, there's obviously a lot of theories that go around and what could have happened.
I'm going to start rambling right now. So
I've been watching Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just...
Go ahead. Tell him your crazy theory.
Maybe he went into the Upside Down.
Sorry, I binge watched Stranger Things in like 2 days.
I mean, if there was like some type of parallel universe or something, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. How did he just disappear seemingly out of thin air? And if he was on the phone with his parents and they were seemingly in the same spot, I don't know. This is definitely a crazy one for sure. But there was the Brandon law that was passed, and this basically means that the police need to, no matter what the age is, if there's a missing persons report filed, then they need to follow up on it right away. Great, good. That's, should be done anyways. But, yes. So that is it for this. I really need to get better at timing the makeup and all of that, but I will definitely get better. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. This one, I have heard about this one before, but when I just started doing the research and stuff on my own instead of opposably, just reading or listening or whatever the case was, I just thought it was very odd. I mean, how does one just disappear out of thin air? And seemingly that's like what happened. So, yeah, I found it very interesting, but I want to know what you guys think. If you maybe heard something that you didn't hear with somebody else talking about it or whatnot, I do want to know that. But yeah, let me finish up my face and all that stuff, and I will be back. So yeah, guys, if you, obviously, if you know anything about this or can help in any way, definitely reach out. I will put information either up there or down there. I mean, if there's anything that we can do to help out as a community. So with that being said, that is the end of this case, this video. If there's ever something that you're curious about that I used on my face, let me know down below and I will post that. And other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And if somebody hasn't told you that they love you today, I love you, and be safe out there. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff with your friends. And I will be seeing you guys in my next video, which will be soon. Okay, bye. I did want to say one more thing. I am going to be putting like my videos into categories and stuff. So like I'm gonna do disappearances. This is crooked, ignore that. Disappearances, the true crime that, cases that have been solved, and then my urban legends, the conspiracy theories, they're all going to be categorized evenly. So, yeah. That's it. Okay. Have a good day.